All right. We are back. It's Missed on Points, our 101st podcast, even though it's not actually 101st podcast. We just started renumbering.
102nd.
If it is, I really lost count. It's our special Independence Day podcast today. We're talking about...
Happy Barbecue Day.
Yep, that's
Veggie
right.
Day if you're a vegetarian.
Happy Pork Day here in the South. Today we're going to talk about...
boxing, the return of Floyd Mayweather.
Curling. The curling scandals are
I'm going to give my review on the movie Independence Day that I saw today.
Excellent.
Nothing else has occurred in sports. Anything occurred today while I was watching the movie? I was there from 11:30 to like 2:45.
There might have been some canoeing things.
Oh,
competitive eating. Joey Chestnut won the Nathan's hot dog eating contest with 70 hot dogs. Three and a half short of his record.
Can I just say this real quick? This is really important. Am I the only person grossed out watching competitive eating?
No. In fact, yesterday my daughter decided to read us a bunch of competitive eating records, and some of them are really enough to. When I started realizing how many sticks of that people like competitively eat sticks of butter, it was a problem. But let's talk about the NBA draft. I hear that happened. The NBA draft, the NBA lottery, the NBA free agency. Do we have anything we want to say about this?
Ben Simmons is going to be awesome. I think Brandon Ingram's going to be pretty good.
That Mozgov contract was a real win for the Lakers.
So
they're going to be strong.
The Lakers got one of the top 15 free agents. Luol Deng, Mozgov in the front court, I think makes them a viable,
outstanding contract work. Shout out to Joel Mule.
No, but seriously, they needed veterans. Mozgov is a vet. Deng is a vet. Deng probably will be asked to do more.
Can I just be Michael Irvin for a second though?
Sure.
They don't have any playmakers.
They've got Russell.
You have to look at your phone.
No, this is me pulling Russell when he's like Swaggy P talk about all your ex-girlfriends. I'm really sorry, Swaggy P. I know you did bad things, but you shouldn't have been snitched on. That's harsh. That's harsh.
Yeah.
Like if she would have found out from the security camera, then that makes sense. I'm with you. First of all, you have a security system. You knew. Actually, you know what? I can't even talk about this. All
right, we need to move directly. Are we going to talk about the top 10 free agent list we have? Or are we going to talk about Kevin Durant?
It's a security camera. Like, just turn it off. Okay, sure. What do you say?
Do you want to talk about Durant? He went to OKC. Oh, wait, no, he didn't. That's your prediction. You predicted he would go to OKC.
I did predict he would go to OKC.
He ended up someplace else. Was it Boston to play with Al Horford?
Oh, we're going to talk about that in a minute.
No, it was Golden State. It was Golden State. I love the hate that flows
in all
from this
seriousness,
decision.
I found this out during the trailers for the movie Independence Day.
Were you checking your phone during the trailers?
Yeah.
That's all right. The trailers, that's legit.
Yeah, I mean, the trailers. Right. Not the actual movie. I mean, spoiler alert, there's a third one coming. So, yeah, Durant goes to Golden State Warriors. I have said this several times on Facebook that if that occurred, this is the greatest free agency team you've ever seen. On paper, it's probably the greatest preseason team you've ever seen. Wait, how old is Durant? Someone tell me.
Not as old as you think. I think that's my.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's not as old as you think.
I'm thinking he's 29.
Oh well, maybe he is as old as you think.
They've already updated him.
They've already updated him. ESPN has no chill.
Jesus Christ, he's 27.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just he's lanky and old looking.
God. He's 27. Green is young. Thompson is young. Curry's young. They won't lose more than 5
So the ESPN headline about this already is how many championships will Golden State win? Are they the favorite to win the championship in the next season?
For the next 5?
Wow. Well, let's just talk about this coming year. Are they the favorite to win now?
What part of they won't lose did you not understand?
Well, okay. All right, fair. Cleveland beat them. Admittedly,
without Durant.
That's true. Without
Durant makes the shots that they were missing last year.
Okay.
All those barns clanked and bricks.
Durant makes them taller, but not really. Right? Like Durant, we all know Durant's really like 6'11". Like he lists himself as like 6'8" or 9, but he's really like
7 feet. He's taller than Boogie Cousins.
Yeah, he's a tall guy, but I don't think he makes them tall in the way that Golden State needs to be tall to be tall teams.
No, that's not the issue. All you've got to do is just say these were the shots that Matt Barnes was not Matt Barnes. Shout out to Matt Barnes, by the way. Congrats on the Kings. I know Derek Fisher is very happy to see
Sacramento
you back in the great state of California. Harrison Barnes was dreadful in the playoffs. Steph Curry was bad. We'll talk about that later, but he was bad. Durant makes half of those shots.
Oh, at least.
So there's not a game 5, or there probably isn't a game 5. They will win the championship, barring an injury.
Well, and he seems really, really well positioned to fit into their system.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly what they're looking for to fit into what they already have. He's not like a system changer or anything, but he fits into their system nicely. I've seen a couple people on Facebook who are like, oh, it's going to take them a while to get their chemistry down. I don't believe that for a second.
No, there's not. The biggest difference is all the other teams had different parts coming together as one. This one is, we had a sort of pretty good part, and we're like now fusing it with an all-time
Let me get you on the record. You're saying Golden State's going to win the championship this coming year.
Yeah.
Okay. Will they win 70 games?
That's the floor.
Wow. Okay.
Here's my bold prediction for next year.
Yeah.
They win 77.
Wow.
The only 5 games that they lose are the occasional back-to-back where they're tired.
Okay.
And when they clinch first place.
I feel you. Let me play devil's advocate for just a second, because if you've been watching Oklahoma City the last few years, one of the critiques of Durant as a player is that he has off games. Like he has games where he's just not a presence, in sort of the same way that Steph Curry has off games where he's not a presence. Isn't that like more of a problem?
In order for them to lose, they would have to, at least 3 of them would have to be off for a game, right? Like
we saw what happened when Steph Curry.
Sure, but look at it this way: it is Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Steph Curry was bad, yes.
Yes.
What's his name? Thompson.
Yeah.
Thompson was bad, yes.
Yes.
The only good player was Green.
No, that's true.
And he was probably the best player on the court.
I mean, if you look, all you have to do is look at the stat line for that game.
Okay. This is real simple. They are a block shot and a contested Kyrie Irving 3-pointer from winning the championship.
No, that's true. They were close.
No,
so you have to figure this.
No,
this makes them better.
It's infinitely better.
Is the West okay? Well, we'll talk about big things. So now, as a result of all of that,
I'm going on the record right now.
Okay,
there's a 20% chance they go undefeated in the regular season.
I'll put money on that. There's no chance they go undefeated.
What kind of points am I getting?
What do you mean points?
What kind of
odds? You just made the prediction.
So
I'll put $20 on it. $20.
No, you got to. If I put 20, you got to put 100.
What? No, if you really feel good about your prediction, you should go. I should get.
I said there's a 20% chance.
Oh, you said there's a 20% chance.
Yeah, not that they will, but there's a 20% chance they will.
No, I'm not going to do the 120 thing. We'll talk about this. I'll have to come up with a bet.
All right.
So Durant's gone to Golden State.
Wait, we can't make a bet on this one. What is the over/under on wins?
Oh, the over/under on wins is 70 or 70.5.
I'll take the over.
Okay, 70 in the hook. We'll see.
I will.
You
want to make a bet on that?
No, but I will go on the record and say under. I think Golden State. It's a copycat league. Golden State kind of indicated that going for the record in wins is not as important as having your team well positioned. And we'll see. We'll see what happens with. Kerr tends to like to play every game, but my guess is they'll be a little more cautious.
They could rest 2 of them and still win 70.
I know you're on record saying that they could have a fan playing the 5th starter and still win 70 games. So
yes.
All right. Well, Durant's gone. That leaves Oklahoma City with Westbrook and not a whole lot. Another couple players.
Westbrook, Oladipo is a fine backcourt.
No, he is. That's true.
Steven Adams is more than serviceable. That's why they got rid of Ibaka.
But if you're Oklahoma City, do you trade Westbrook now?
Oh,
because okay, why?
He ain't coming back.
No, I think that's true as well. I think that's true as well.
Not coming back.
All right, fair enough. You trade him now. I agree with you because I think he's not coming back. I think the fact that Durant jumped is at least some kind of evidence that he's not coming back because
Ibaka just means that they had a bad relationship as teammates.
No, no, I don't think so. How much of a good relationship do you want? They're clearly very different people, but they don't seem to. They seem to play together. Okay,
they do dress differently. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I would hate to see Durant's lanky ass frame. And
I think I've seen this several places. I think Westbrook is the odds-on favorite to be MVP.
By the way, if you pay attention in the background, my older sister is about to come through the front doorway. So
this is my first time.
My dog will probably go nuts and bark as soon as they come in. So that'll be very exciting. That's my wife, not my older sister in the background. No. Don't get it twisted. No. Anyway, so the Atlanta Hawks had an amazing free agency season where they got Dwight Howard, who's the premier center in the league. Eric, are you excited?
No, he's not the premier center in the league.
I was wondering how long you're going to let me go on with that.
I'm going to let you go on for a while until you said it.
Are you excited to be an Atlanta Hawks fan again?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think this should be close. I think the problem that people have had when it comes to the Atlanta Hawks are we constantly kind of bring back the same team.
That's true.
And we're very comfortable with a certain expectation.
Yeah.
So 48 wins, 58 wins, we get that. We feel like that's enough.
Yeah.
We feel like that's success. And in the offseason, we're like, we got to get a superstar. Got to get a superstar. By the way, there's only I don't know.
No, that's true.
6 superstars.
That's true. My problem with the Hawks, the reason that I quit them after Joe Johnson, in addition to the fact that I thought that was one of the dumbest contracts we ever signed, maybe the dumbest other than Concacaf.
Josh Smith's still a free agent.
Oh, God. Is that I thought their move with him was indicative of a ownership that didn't really want to win that much. And I still feel like they sort of stumbled into greatness the last couple seasons comparatively. They got a really good coach. That was a good pick. And they since then they just haven't cared about trying to win that much. And I think Howard's not a terrible pick.
No, I love the Howard.
If we can't get KD, then
no. Listen. So if you want to talk about what a weakness is for the Atlanta Hawks, we can start with a superstar.
Yep.
I think that's stupid because there's not that many of them.
Well, the theory, the conspiracy theory about the lack of a black superstar in Atlanta.
No.
Wow, that's been going around as long as I've been here. Is that the Atlanta franchises don't want a black superstar? Which I
don't think that's true.
That there's the whole they chased Mike Vick off.
Yeah, that's
carted him off in irons, as I recall. But
well, he did lie about the fact that he did illegal activity.
He was funding an organized crime ring, so there was that. Okay, what about Horford to Boston?
So hold on. So before I get there, I think so. I want to talk about the Hawks for a second. The reason that you should be excited, we were killed in the glass that cost us wins.
No, that's true.
Howard is still perceived to be an elite rim defender, and still people, if he's there, are less likely to drive the lane than if Horford is there.
If Howard plays hard, we'll be better. I'm waiting to see if that's going to happen.
I think you'll be fine. I think if you play Nick, look, Dwight Howard took 8 more shots. You took 8 less shots than Dwight Howard per game.
That's true
because he played with
I'm working on my set shot though.
You were.
I'm working on the hook,
and you took 8 less shots.
My dad had a great hook shot. Unfortunately, I do not have one.
That's still only means you would have gotten 8 shots. Oh, so okay. I think Howard makes sense because of.
Do you have any bold predictions for the Hawks for this?
So I thought Bazemore was fine. Both of these are. I'm a business person. Both of these are under market signings. If you look at Hassan Whiteside, got a max deal. Howard's numbers. Pretty much the same. I know one is younger, but one dude also spent half the season on the bench.
How many years is the Howard deal? 4?
3.
3. No, it's not bad. It's like I'm not going to say it's the Joe Johnson deal. It's not.
And that's why
a much better deal.
That's why Al's not here. If I had a prediction, they will make the playoffs. Obviously, they will be in the mix for the 3rd seed because they could still win the conference or their division.
Yeah. So. Okay. No, I feel like we're well positioned. We're not necessarily we didn't take a huge step forward, but we took some of a step forward.
I thought the fact that it's different, even if we kind of have the same record, it still feels different. Like someone said this, Devin Chapman said this on Facebook. I thought it's pretty true. Howard is new and shiny, and sometimes new and shiny gives you a sense of hope.
That's true. I'll just say that's an old team. It's an old team with old legs. And
who's
what Howard?
Well, I mean, yeah, Howard.
I mean, who's young on that team? I mean, obviously the
Dennis Bazemore. They've got 2 rookies who I'm much a fan of.
But your big name players, other than Bazemore,
no, it's not true. You've got a great mix of young and old on that team. I will say that.
We'll see.
I think
I'm not as confident, but I hope it's good. And I don't hate the franchise.
My bold prediction is the Hawks 50 wins, win their division, get to the conference finals.
That's. I don't know about the conference finals, but I think everything else, I'm with you.
Basically, avoid Cleveland as long as you can.
And so that leaves Al Horford stuck in Boston. Al, buddy. Boston, really?
So
enjoy
Al,
that.
So, hey, Al, I know you thought you were going to play with Kevin Durant, and you were like, I'm going to take a max deal from Boston.
Kevin Durant is not walking through that door.
He was never going to walk through that door. You brought in the deflator as a closer.
Deflator.
That's not how you get things done in the world. When Kurt Schilling is sending you personal letters, I don't think that's who you want to be representing you as a city.
I don't see the Celtics being a good team, and I like Al. To be honest, I always thought he underperformed. I mean, I know Neil Blackman's losing his mind somewhere right now, because he has all the advanced metrics on this question. But I always thought that Horford never really led us the way that he could have, even when we were a decent team.
I'm going to say this once, and I don't think it's that far-fetched. Howard's a better player.
I actually think you may be right about that.
I love Horford as a person, and here's the problem. If Dwight Howard had a twin that played in the NBA, and his name was Al Horford, would you want Al Horford or would you want Dwight Howard?
I don't know. What's the twin like? Does the twin
plays
exactly as much?
The twin plays it has Dwight Howard's faults. They're off the court stuff, but he plays like Al Horford.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think most people would say.
I honestly wish I knew the metrics better on the two of them. I don't.
The per is Horford by like 0.5.
Yeah.
So I don't think Boston's that much better.
No, I agree, and maybe worse. We'll see.
I don't know about worse. They can't be worse. I think he's.
No, that's true.
He's better than who they're replacing, but
I just don't know that he puts them in a position for the future that they want to be in.
They're not a challenger for the Cavs.
The Heat have reportedly offered Dwayne Wade a 2-year, $40 million contract. Is that overpaying?
No, it's not a Kobe deal. Kobe was overpaying and killed.
No, that's true. It's not a Kobe deal, and I looked up his numbers, and they weren't terrible. But
he had a bit of a
his minutes go down every year. They've gone down. It wasn't this year that was the big decline. It was the year before that. But I just, when I look at Dwayne Wade, I see injuries and I see limited playing time. And maybe it was because that was how he played with LeBron the last year or so. But
yeah, I think this what scared him off. LeBron away to Cleveland is because he was afraid about Wade and the legs. This is what they should do. They were never going to get Durant.
If you listen to Le Batard, the franchise had to bring Wade back because the fan base was so devoted to him. I don't know if that's really true.
I think you have to. I think they overpaid for Whiteside personally, because a guy who's been on already 8 teams.
So
when he gets his money, he's skeptical.
The other sort of biggish piece of news is Gasol, supposedly Pau Gasol, not Marc Gasol, is going to go to the Spurs.
Is this 2011?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I thought. But I looked up Gasol too, and his numbers last year were actually pretty damn good.
So even
his minutes per game are about the same as Dwayne Wade's minutes per game.
You want him guarding Durant?
No, but he replaces Duncan. That's the theory, and it's yet unclear whether Duncan will even come back.
I heard a reporter said Durant signed with Golden State. Now Duncan is considering retirement, which. Yeah, Durant going to Golden State will make me want to quit.
Duncan can come off the bench. And I've heard that he's willing to do that. I've heard he's willing to because he likes playing the game. Mm-hmm. He's not going to become a commentator after the game.
No, he's got like a thing about like fast cars. Yep. I can see him becoming Brad Daugherty.
That would be awesome. Actually,
it really would be awesome.
I actually might watch some races if Tim Duncan was commentating.
I listen more because
I just want to see. I want to see Tim Duncan throw a fit if like NASCAR makes a bad ruling. Duncan will be like,
what is he been named?
He's pissed off at every bad call.
Oh, fair.
But he doesn't like yell, but he does the hand thing,
fair.
And when you're that big, it makes a difference. All right. So, what other deals matter at all in free agency? Anything?
So, I thought it was interesting that Bazemore came back to the Hawks less than the market value, and like those are great deals. I think Dang to the Lakers makes sense. If Dang signing happens before Mozgov, then that signing looks differently.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's actually true. Although then it makes the Mozgov contract situation even more confusing. But
yeah, I think if you're, I think Dallas got lucky.
Yeah, they did. Otherwise, the story before that was Dallas is a disaster and Mark Cuban's an idiot. That was an article that got written about 5 times.
Like they got lucky to get Bogut and Barnes and bring back Williams.
And they'll still be who they were. I don't think that they take a big step forward.
I've thought about who the best 8 teams are in the East. I haven't thought about it in the West, but yeah, you're right.
So one last thing.
The Rose trade.
Oh yeah,
Derrick Rose to
the Knicks.
To the Knicks.
That's a really interesting thing. I couldn't tell you what the outcome of it is.
So they signed Brandon Jennings, and all I'm saying is you need a really good, well-paid doctor to put that team together.
No, it's true, but like you can't really tell whether history tells us that Derrick Rose is going to get hurt again. But if he doesn't,
I think history tells us that Derrick Rose is a above-average point guard. Now, like before the injury, he wasn't clearly, but he's lost the injury. We
haven't seen him play nearly at that level. We'll see.
So if just my rundown of the top 8 teams in the East right now, just in case you want to know, because I know you do. Cleveland's still number 1. No one has made a threat to them.
Yep.
Toronto is still number 2 because they bring back everyone except for Bismack Biyombo, who was only a star for like 6 games. The third team is interesting because it's whoever wins the Southeast Division, and right now it's between Charlotte and the Hawks. But whoever that is technically the third seed. I think the third most talented team is Indiana. I love what they have right now with Paul George and Jeff Teague, and they've got a center who was at Texas last year. That was great. The 4th seed I will begrudgingly give to the Lakers only because of just name value.
Wait, you're talking about the East.
Sorry, the Knicks. I can't. Phil Jackson.
You just said, wow! Shout out to Joe Lemieux again.
The
Knicks and the Lakers mixed up.
They're kind of the same team. 2 franchises that thought they were good and currently aren't.
The Lakers were good more recently.
Fair. That's fair. I think Boston is 5. I think Atlanta, in terms of actually.
I mean, if Atlanta and Charlotte are.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I actually don't. I think Atlanta's better than Boston. I think just because of the overall chemistry.
I agree.
I'll go with Atlanta 4, New York 5, Boston 6, Charlotte 7, and Detroit 8. But the teams in between 3 or 4 and 7 are super interchangeable.
The last thing we really want to talk about is
who are the top 8 teams in the West? Golden State. Golden State. Go to spit out fire. Hot fire.
When the whole free agency period started, it became clear that the new NBA salary cap had changed things substantially, and it's just a lot more money. And what was weird to me is how many people seem to be upset by the deals that were coming out of free agency. And it's one thing to be exactly. Sure. It's one thing to be upset if you feel like your team overplayed for a player or a contract was structured incorrectly. Mozgov, but.
Wait, I don't think Moscow. Hold on. I know you're going to get into that point. Here's a great question. What's the worst sign?
I don't know. I haven't even looked at everything.
I'm gonna look it up.
But it's weird that you got all these people that were all of a sudden talking about how what players deserve, which is a strange thing to think of. They're like, well, that player doesn't deserve $20 million. Well, that's what the market could bear for that player given the new numbers. And it's crazy to me how people don't understand basic economics. And it's not even economics. It's like budgeting.
Yeah,
it's not like macroeconomics.
Yeah, this is economics. When I explained it to someone that couldn't understand it, I was like, look, I don't think you understand that a 33% increase in the salary cap is reflected in the increase in the amount of money players are getting today.
Yep, exactly. And
it's not last year, that guy would have been a $17 million player.
Yes, that's true. They have more money now. Right. And the worst take on this at all are the people that are complaining that the NFL by contrast, doesn't pay their players as much. Well, yeah, they don't because they have a whole lot more employees. There's a lot more people playing on a football team than a basketball team. That's what I understand. And not only that, but the NFL is saving up money to pay off their concussion problems. And not only that, but the collective bargaining agreement is completely different in the NFL. And people don't seem to understand that either.
All I'm saying is, look, NFL players. And it's not the NFL players that have a gripe with.
No.
But you did allow for a CBA that allows you to get non-guaranteed contracts, by the way. That's on you. But the one that got on my nerves were the NFL analysts, especially, what's the one from Dallas? What is his name?
I don't know who you're talking about.
It'll come to me in a second. Who just seemed indignant about the fact that all these quarterbacks, 11 of whom made less guaranteed money than 4 NBA players, and of those 11 quarterbacks, 2 of them are African American, and I don't even know if you noticed those African Americans. I didn't think they, but whatever. I want to go the racial angle.
Yeah, I think there's no question that a bunch of the outrage is about the fact that there's a bunch of black dudes making bank, and whenever you see that, then people get upset. A bunch of white people get upset, and
if you really want to be upset about how much guaranteed money people are making, go look at baseball. Look at the top page starting pitchers.
Yes.
And look at how much guaranteed money they made compared to
the NFL. If I had a child who was
athletic,
I would encourage them to become a baseball player, and I would encourage them to become a left-handed pitcher.
I was going to say it's soccer.
Well, not soccer. Soccer ain't going to make that much money, but
if you're overseas?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
That's a problem. Yeah. It's a problem. Maybe Neil Blackman can tell us about that if he ever decides to come on the podcast. So enough with the silly arguments about the numbers involved. If you're worried about the specifics of an individual contract, that's fine, but don't complain about what's going on.
I forget the website that had it, but it's essentially you should take I think there's a mathematical way of doing it, just taking like 33% divided by the current salary cap.
And
kinda
it's
get rid of a lot of
always
money.
true that when you get a new deal and the
Mhm.
money goes up, that the people who sign at first under that deal
Mhm.
make a lot of money. And it happens in the NFL. It happens in every major sporting league that I can think of. So calm down.
All right, Joe. We're going to play a game.
All right.
According to ESPN, Kevin Pelton, who does we'll find out a good job of saying who the top free agents are. The top 10 free agents in the NBA. We're going to skip LeBron James and Kevin Durant.
As well we should.
Who is number 3?
We were talking about this earlier. I can't figure this out.
So like people like Wade is available.
Dang.
Luol Deng?
Yeah.
Luol Deng is 15th.
Howard.
Howard is 13th.
I am very confused. Give it to me.
You know what? I'll give you this one. Marvin Williams, 12.
That is ridiculous.
Okay, sure. You said
Where's Dwayne Wade on that list?
Is he on the list?
Pau Gasol.
Hold on. Powell he's 10th. I'll say he's 10th. I don't think Dwayne Wade is on this
I
list.
wouldn't put him on that list. All right, so Gasol is 10th. Who's 9th?
Andre Drummond.
Wow.
Detroit Pistons. 22-year-old center. Makes sense. He signed 5 years, $130 million.
I mean, we'll see.
Okay.
I feel like that's speculative.
Number 4 is Hassan Whiteside, who's 27, by the way.
Wait. Was Drummond 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought we were going backwards. All right.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's go backwards.
That's a lot of speculation.
Let's go backwards. So I said that Marvin Williams was 12.
Yep.
Marvin Williams is better than DeMar DeRozan, Luol Deng, Bradley Beal.
The Luol Deng problem is significant.
The DeMar DeRozan.
Who's at 11?
11. Chandler Parsons, who I accurately predicted will go to Memphis.
That's not terrible.
10, Pau Gasol.
Okay.
9 is Dirk Nowitzki.
Wow. Why?
Here's the best one. Jared Sullinger is 8.
Wait, who?
Jared Sullinger, who just got replaced by Al Horford.
Wow. I'm loving how many of these people. Okay, keep going.
7 is Nicholas Batum. Makes sense. He was going to be a superstar, kind of fell off.
Fair enough.
Went to Charlotte. 6, Mike Conley. A lot of people say he's the most underrated guy.
All right. Yeah, I mean, he's been on that list for a while. Horford.
Al Horford's 5. I think that's name value.
That's not bad. I mean, that is name value, but it's not terrible.
Right, and then that's pretty much the list. Dwayne Wade is not in the list, but I think this is based on the metric of wins above replacement. So
I don't know how that metric makes sense with a guy that's 22. Sample size is a problem.
I can't do win above replacement in my head right now, but if you think about the average center in the league, then I think that probably inflates the center value more.
But does that mean
why
the centers are more
why
valuable?
is Marvin Williams 12?
Why is Marvin Williams on the list? Well, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. You've had the bold prediction from Eric Mathis on the Golden State Warriors. I've made a prediction. We'll see what happens.
You haven't?
Yeah, I did. I said they'd be under the 70 wins.
Okay, I guess
70 and a half wins. Sorry. And we'll see how this all works out. We'll see if is there anything else that might happen in free agency that actually shocks us or changes the landscape in any way.
There's a few more moves.
Wade has to sign something.
Wade's got to sign. LeBron's got to get
Miami.
out. Got to hurry up and get his deal done.
Yep.
As far as the Atlanta Hawks go, they signed a kid from overseas that played at Virginia Tech. I don't think he's going to be the backup point guard. I expect Jared Jack to be the backup point guard.
Who's the point guard for the Hawks? By the way?
Dennis Schroeder.
Okay.
I think that's fine. A lot of people are like, can you trust Dennis Schroeder? Sample size says you can.
This is why you drafted him.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you drafted him. I wouldn't be surprised, however, if Atlanta tries to make a splash and they've got a bunch of expiring contracts to maybe go get someone. Or hypothetically, they could pull what they did with Teague and trade Paul Millsap to kind of bring back some assets. But I think people are kind of vastly underrating what that team is going to do defensively, because I think what they realized was the ball movement, trying to get Corver open threes style in the playoffs didn't work. And what they needed was a better half-court set. I expect a substantial increase in ball pressure defense.
Well, that plays towards our coach's abilities and background anyway. The half-court game is something that
and they can still stretch the floor enough with all the shooters that can place around Dwight Howard.
I don't think Atlanta will go out and get anyone else again, but that's just my read of how the ownership has worked the last few years.
No, but they've got a new owner who has already built a new facility for the players. I think what they are looking at now is how do we take the next step? We've got Dwight Howard. If Dwight shows a commitment, I expect Dwight to get back to the 17 and 12 level he was pre kind of Houston.
He wasn't really that far off of that.
No, he really wasn't that far off. The Hawks will be. The Hawks are going. People may look at the Hawks and they may finish like 44 and 30. but they'd be much better in the playoffs because of their ability to play defense and
I hope
their
that's the
ability to
case.
stop second chance shots.
I hope that's the case. All right. Well, you've heard it.
Hey, Al, enjoy Boston.
Enjoy Boston, Al. Enjoy it. The winters are lovely.
Jerk.
That's it.